What's up, YouTube? Um, this video is about the answer, AIlen Iverson. I want to put a lot of thought process into this video, and speak the way I feel about AIlen Iverson. AIlen Iverson was the greatest little man to ever play the game of basketball. You know what I'm saying? I was a big AIlen Iverson fan. I put him up there with Kobe Bryant in my list of great players in the NBA and Michael Jordan. AIlen Iverson has decided to retire from basketball. You know what I'm saying? He ain't going to the Lakers. He ain't going to the D League. He ain't going to the Chicago Bulls. He ain't going overseas. He's retiring for good. If I can sum it up, AIlen Iverson was the best. You know, he was fearless on the court. He had his problems. It just didn't pan out with winning the championship. AIlen Iverson was the best Philadelphia 76er from the time he got drafted to the time he left and got traded to Denver. I just wish AIlen Iverson would have won the title, because you can say what you want to say. AIlen Iverson and Larry Brown butted heads, and you know what I'm saying. AIlen Iverson was gonna do it his way. AIlen Iverson wasn't going to sit back and just let anybody run over him. You know what I'm saying. If it was the coach, if it was the media or anybody that wanted to bring Allen down, AIlen Iverson wasn't going to do that. You know what I'm saying. I enjoyed watching the crossover Allen Iverson invented. From crossing Michael Jordan to the famous quote, the practice line. We talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game. Not the game. We talking about practice. That was Allen Iverson at his best. You know what I'm saying? The cornrows, that famous Philadelphia 76er jersey he had. Everybody wanted to be like Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big Lakers fan, but in the Eastern Conference, I always wanted Allen to do good, because that was my boy on the Eastern Conference. I had Kobe on the Western Conference, and Allen Iverson was my guy on the East. I wanted Philadelphia to win. Like, the year they made it to the finals against the Lakers, I was torn because I didn't know who to cheer for. I wanted to go for Philadelphia. I wanted to go for the Lakers. But it's just funny that Allen Iverson got that team to the finals in '01 with Matt Geiger, Theo Ratliff, Eric Snow, you know what I'm saying? What's his name? Tyrone Hill, you know what I'm saying? George Lynch, you know. That team had no business being in the finals, but Larry Brown built that team around Allen Iverson. And Allen Iverson showcased his skills, and he got the Philadelphia 76ers to the NBA championship. They was dethroned by the Lakers. That was Allen Iverson's only chance to get that ring. After that, Allen Iverson had a lot of troubles in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? From the dress code, from David Stern not wanting to Allen Iverson to be himself. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the biggest problem. David Stern, you can't make a person do what they done like they didn't want to do. David Stern was the primary reason why Allen Iverson is not in the game today. You wanted Allen Iverson to be like Michael Jordan. You wanted him to talk like Kareem, dress like the greats, like Magic Johnson. You wanted him to have that image. But Allen Iverson was going to do it his way. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't going to listen to nobody, And that's the way life goes. You be yourself. And Allen Iverson taught people how to be themselves and be comfortable with their own self. You know what I'm saying? And Allen Iverson wasn't going to fucking do what anybody told him to do. You know what I'm saying? I admire Allen Iverson for doing that. You know what I'm saying? You got niggas like, well, excuse me for that word, bitches like LeBron James in the NBA right now. going to South Beach and joining the Miami Heat. I don't think Allen Iverson would have ever did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because Allen Iverson had one heart and one basketball in his hand. And when Allen Iverson got that basketball, it was all good. You know what I'm saying? Um, Allen Iverson, uh, the best little man to ever play the game of basketball. The best little man and the best cold-blooded killer ever in the NBA as a little guy. The dude, Larry Brown put him at shooting guard one year, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? People said, "Was he a point guard or a shooting guard?" But Allen Iverson was the best. You know, league MVP, 2001 MVP, 12-time NBA All-Star. But it's sad the way the NBA did Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson should be coming off the bench for somebody right now. But you know, Allen Iverson didn't want to come off the bench because Allen Iverson believed in his heart that he can play the game of basketball the way he wanted to play the game of basketball. He went to Denver. Carmelo Anthony. I was excited for that trade. I remember the day the trade went down. He had played his last game against the Chicago Bulls. And a few days later, Allen Iverson was on his way to Denver. Carmelo Anthony had got suspended for fighting. The two hadn't played together. You know, they was waiting for Carmelo Anthony to get back to see how the talent would mesh. But Allen Iverson hit a bump in the road in Denver. It didn't quite work out. Carmelo Anthony needed the ball, and Allen Iverson wanted to have the ball. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't work out. You know, George Carr was trying to have them to fit each other's, you know, in the same system. Then he moved on to Detroit. That whole thing blew up because Allen Iverson didn't want to come off the bench. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't want to come off the bench or whatever. You know. And I think where he go after that? I think he went to Memphis after that. I'm not sure. But that didn't work out. He tried to come back to Philly. That didn't work. He went overseas to play. The NBA wanted him to go to the D League. You know, I just think it was so disrespectful the way the NBA treated Allen Iverson. But I just wish Allen the best of luck in retirement. The answer, the master of the crossover. We ain't talking about the game, not the game. We talking about practice. We talking about practice. Allen Iverson, you will always be the greatest little man to ever play the game, and I tip my hat out to you, and wish you the best of luck, AI. You know what I'm saying? And we all hang up a number 3 jersey for you. And we miss you, AI. And good luck in retirement.